All right. I've got a camera in front of me. I got a mic, backdrop. Now all I got to do is just think about what I want to talk about. Damn. Full moon is going to be coming up from behind me in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna smoke some herb when that happens and give it a good stare. Uh, Something I like to do. It's I feel like I get some information staring at the moonlight or the moon, stoned. It's a good time. There's things I want to talk about. I'm a little camera shy. I don't know what to say. What should I talk about? There's a story I've been wanting to share. This is back in 2000 and when was 9/11? 9/11 was when did that happen? 2000 and oh my gosh, getting a blank. Uh, 9/11 2001. Damn it. Was it 2001? It was a good 6 months to a year or so after. I was working at my mom's flower shop. My parents are florists, and I was just working. It was just me there. I was there alone. I usually would come in the slow times from like 2 to 6, and I'm there by myself. And a soldier walks in. He walks in and he's ordering some flowers, and I'm putting it together for him. And again, this is just after 9/11 happened. I told him, I thank you for your service, and he looked at me and he looked me straight in the eye and he said, "You know what? Everything you're seeing on the TV right now, it's all bullshit." And it really caught me off guard. The news was coming from the TV, and I think it was probably the first time I ever heard a different opinion on what was going on around then. So again, this was 6 months to about a year after 9/11 happened. And he looked me in the eye and he said, "It's all a bunch of bullshit. Don't believe what you hear on the TV. It has nothing to do with weapons of mass destruction. We're there for the oil. All we do is guard oil all day. It's just not what you think it is." And yeah, it was shocking, but I just put his flowers together and I rang him up, and it was on his way. And I was sitting there and I was left there scratching my head, and but life does what it does. It goes on, and I must have just forgotten. I was probably in my early 20s at the time, so I was probably partying and stuff like that. So it just kind of just kind of forgot about it. But gosh, I would say about 2 to 3 weeks later, another soldier walks in the flower shop. I'm working, same deal. I'm there alone. Comes in, orders flowers. I'm putting something together for him, and I said the same thing again. I said, "Thank you for your service." And he said the exact same thing. He said, "It's just a bunch of bullshit. Don't believe everything that you hear on the TV. We're not there because you think we are. We're being lied to." Just basically almost exactly what the dude down the military dude told me. Okay. That second time definitely sparked something inside of me. Sometimes something has to happen to you twice, and that was it for me. So after I heard that, I started to do my own research on the topic of 9/11, and I will tell you, everything that I had researched on my own was just starting to create more questions, and almost like I was uncovering stuff. It's actually really fun to kind of almost like private investigator work. I was watching YouTube videos, checking the internet, and I would see footage of the Pentagon, supposed plane hitting the Pentagon, and almost looked more like a missile, not necessarily an airplane. And then the wreckage from one of the, I think it was Flight 93. They're typically when there's a downed airplane, there's a lot of wreckage, but that was definitely just if you can try to find photos of it now, which is actually kind of hard to do, you'll see that it's just kind of like a hole in the ground. It's like a smoldering, smoking hole in the ground, and there's no luggage, there's no tail, there's no nothing. It's just a big hole, just kind of like some scattered, almost looks like paperwork. What else? They found a one of the hijackers' passports just happened to fall out of the plane. Oh, and a big one was Building 7. If you guys don't know what Building 7 is, there's a good reason that you may not, and it's because it's the third building that fell down besides the Twin Towers that didn't get much coverage, or it did in the beginning, but then it was kind of glossed over. But if you looked into it, you will see that that one supposedly caught fire because of its proximity to the Twin Towers, and if you they have the building basically collapsing on itself on they have footage of it, and it's I would say that's hard to believe that a fire caused a building to just collapse on itself. And I know that there's countering arguments to that, but again, it wasn't just one or two things that I found. It was, man, it was almost everything. Then we find out later that they weren't even Iraqi. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we went to Iraq was because of what they had done. But later to find out that they were all Saudi Arabian, man, the list just went on. Ever since then, I am now the person I am now because of those incidents that had happened to me. If those things didn't happen to me, those military guys coming in and telling me what they told me, I don't know if I'd be such a skeptical person as I am now. But that's just a quick story I wanted to talk about. It was something that happened to me in my life. I know that there's people that believe, what the news tells them and what politicians say and what presidential candidates tell them, and um, we're just as humans. We're very we are so easy to believe, because we're good people. People in general are just good, so we tend to believe what people tell us. But then there's others where something has happened to them and they've realized that no, we live in a world where um, it's most likely whatever the initial narrative story is, it may not be true. This is unfortunately, I believe, the world that we find ourselves in right now. We live in a world where age of information, it can easily be called the age of misinformation. I'm sure everyone knows this, nothing new. Um, but that's my story. That's a little bit about I went through and what has shaped me to be who I am now. Um, so yeah, I just thought that was an interesting story, and I'll just leave it at that. Take care.